Hello, hello, hello. Today we will be answering the question, what's the best positioning for expert brands? Actually, I will be answering the question, no? Right? You know when people use a we all the time. If we haven't met, my name is Anna Rosenberg and I help independent service professionals, coaches, trainers, consultants build a business based on their knowledge, information, and expertise fast. And the single most important factor in growth, rapid growth, is without a doubt positioning. And today we will be talking about that. Starting with a little bit of science. Let's talk about the amygdala. There you have the whole definition. I want to concentrate on this last part of the Wikipedia definition. Shown in research to perform a primary role in the processing of memory, decision making, and emotional responses, including fear, anxiety, and aggression. Bear that in mind, it will come in handy. I have heard a lot, if only people could see. If only people could see the value, how valuable, how important this is. I have to admit, I have the best job in the world. I help successful coaches, trainers, consultants, and service professionals grow their business based on their expertise fast. Clients come to me because they want to build a loved and respected brand that sells a ton at the same time, right? Of course, something has to rhyme. And even though they are great at what they do, they don't seem to have a big reach with their message. They feel frustrated because they know they can help people if only those people could see how valuable their help is. How could they not feel overwhelmed and frustrated if it seems we live in a world of the shortest attention span ever and important messages are getting lost and missed by the very people who need to hear them most? And still, there are brands and people who don't seem to have problems to get the full attention and devotion of their audiences. Fees don't seem to be an issue. Clients can't wait to invest in working with them. This is what I tell people when they complain and say, if only they could see. People have all the attention in the world for your brand if it's positioned right. Let me say that again. People have all the attention in the world for your brand if it's positioned right. Fees are not an issue with the right positioning. Getting people ready to become clients is not an issue with the right positioning. You can already think of brands that charge anything they want and people flock to them. So, what's positioning and why is it so important for people like us? People who have a business based on their knowledge, information, and expertise. Positioning is about the place or position your brand occupies in the mind of your marketplace. It makes a difference between being invisible and ignored or becoming a relevant source that commands attention. Let me say that again. It makes the difference between being invisible. That's why people don't see. They just don't. You become completely invisible to them. And that's why we are talking about this today. How does positioning in the mind of your audience work? So how does scientifically all this work? When we meet a person, the oldest part of our brain, sometimes called the reptilian brain, positions that person in front of us as either a friend, an enemy, or someone to be ignored. With over 7 billion people on the planet, the most common positioning to get is to be ignored. Yeah, just another human, just another, like, we have bandwidth only for what's important. So the default positioning doesn't help. That default positioning turns people literally invisible, so their message doesn't have a chance. And that's why we are talking about this today. So another possibility of positioning is to be positioned as an enemy. An enemy is someone to be avoided. It's a person who is here to take away from me. One of the most valuable things I have is my attention and time. And this person is going to take it away from me. When we perceive something as that, we ignore, actually, we run away from them. The positioning to aim for is that of a friend. And I use friends with air quotes. You would see me doing the air quote right now if you were here. Because what we actually mean is a valuable, relevant, credible resource. In reptilian mind language, this means this person is here to be paid attention to because they are here to give me something important, to give me something relevant, to give me something valuable. And I trust them. I believe they will. With the right strategy, this is doable for expertise brands like ours because they are already relevant, valuable resources. So let's talk about the first step. For your message to be heard and for people to see the value of your good work, they need to trust and believe you first. Remember, we started the whole conversation with the amygdala. The amygdala is deciding second per second whether a person is to be trusted or not, no matter what words come out of their mouth or their website. It doesn't matter what they say. We have like a visceral feeling. No, there's something wrong here. So, how can you position your brand as a trusted, valuable, relevant resource? This is the most profitable positioning for experts like us, to become a trusted, valuable, relevant resource. So, how can we do that? Let's start with what a brand is, because we won't be talking about a logo or anything like that. And the only picture I will show you here, but nobody confuses this brand in the picture, this personal brand. Many painters have painted flowers. Nobody mistakes who this was. Your brand, according to Jeff Bezos, is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So it's not your logo, right? I think our personal brands are a promise of an experience. The perceived promise of an experience. Think for a second about any actor, actress, right? You somehow say, oh, in these movies with so and so, and they are immediately a promise of an experience. The same happens with movies, with series, right? With books by certain authors, right? Most people associate a brand with names of companies, logos, and colors and fonts, and that is a small outward expression of a brand, or sometimes called branding, right? A great definition of a brand is a desired perception. How do you want to be perceived? What is the implied promise of your brand? In other words, a way people think about your company and the way they feel about you and your work. And it's a brand created with this depth that attracts high value clients. Martin Neumeyer is a master of brands and branding, says your brand isn't what you say it is, it's what they say it is. So, what works for brands like ours? Not having the right brands keeps experts, coaches, trainers, consultants, and other service professionals from having the right clients, having visibility, and not making the impact they want to make in the world. That's why this is important. So, let's start with what doesn't work very well, using labels. For example, I'm a life coach, I'm a business consultant, I'm a certified Reiki master. Or branding a modality. For example, coaching LA, Reiki New York, NLP London, right? One of the biggest problems is that you don't have the time to explain your modality. People are looking for solutions to a problem, and they are not looking to learn about a modality they may not know about. Even if you had the time to explain your modality, people cannot comprehend how powerful it is, and they doubt it will work for them. So you are talking to them about something that they perceive is wasting their time. Because they are looking for a solution to a real problem. I need this, and blah, 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 blah. This person is telling me about this other thing, and they don't match that this other thing is going to help them with a real problem they have. By trying to brand with your modality, you are limiting yourself to people who know what your modality is. And you are leaving out all the people who could benefit from it. Most experts use this model mainly because it's familiar. We hear doctors say, I'm a doctor, dentists say, I'm a dentist, or lawyers say, I'm a lawyer, right? Some other modalities are not understood and well known yet. There is no doubt in our mind when we say, I'm a dentist, I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor, what that means, right? So you can focus your time on trying to sell people what they don't want and they don't understand, or you can choose to do things differently. You can create a brand that works, get clients, and let that do some of the selling for you, right? And I want to emphasize one part of this again. You can create a brand that works, get clients, and let that brand do some of the heavy lifting for you. Instead of, again, you will see me with the air quotes, trying to do the education about things that people don't understand and don't even want. They don't make that connection we were talking about. So what works for people like us? Let me show you the deepest core of a brand that you can create to bring you your ideal coaching, healing, or consulting clients more easily, a brand that will dramatically increase the perceived value of your work and bring in more highly qualified clients that you can imagine. It's about presenting yourself to the world in a consistent, valuable, compelling way. Again, so they immediately see you as a valuable, relevant, credible resource. That's your sweet spot. That's your positioning. Valuable, relevant, credible resource. I'm all for a high value brand. High value clients are looking to solve high value problems. Ah, of course, Anna, right? So your brand needs to announce that you are here to make a real difference, to solve those high value problems. One formula that works for experts like us is an outcome brand. It's based on the outcome you help your clients get. Regardless of the name, it doesn't matter what the name is. We are not into the logo, the naming. We are into the promise of your brand, into being perceived as a valuable, relevant, credible resource. A high value brand has 3 elements. Of course, high value, and this is key. Money follows value. It's by providing value that you get money. People follow value. People value value. People see value. People pay attention to value. So let's talk about value. So value has to be the heart of this type of brand, right? Everybody talks about value, so let's define. Value is to get your clients closer to the results they want to achieve. Anything that gets them closer to getting what they want adds them value. The second element of a high value brand is an audience. This is a group of people who would greatly benefit from your work. Who is this for? Who is this value for? And the third element, this is what nobody talks about, is the communication of that high value. The value of your work needs to be communicated in the right way so that it is seen, valued, and chosen by the people who are already there, ready to hire someone. There are people out there right now hiring, looking to hire experts to solve the real problems they have. Right this minute, billions and billions and billions of people. So why not you? So let's talk about the next step. Do you want to see an example of positioning for independent service professionals, coaches, trainers, and consultants in action? I thought so. I have a special invitation for you to a free online training I created especially for you. The first thing we will be doing in that training is exactly that, to discover how to position yourself so that high value clients choose you. And we will be doing it with examples of different kinds of experts and how an expert can position themselves as a valuable, relevant, credible resource. How to achieve that positioning in the mind of their audience. It's all about the right positioning to be seen, respected, and chosen by the people who are looking to invest in solving their problems. The default positioning makes experts invisible to the people looking for them. If there is nothing else that you take away today, this is it. The default position makes people invisible, makes their value invisible to the people who are already looking. So you have to position yourself as a valuable, relevant, credible resource so that they see you. But then you need to position also to be chosen, because there are people looking and they will choose someone. So what will position you to be chosen? That's my specialty, right? So if you want to come to the training, You will learn tons more, not only positioning, all through examples of uh, experts and real life examples from my business too. If you want to come, save your spot here. annarosenberg.com/class. It's annarosenberg.com/class. Till next time, remember, your awesomeness is portable. You can take it anywhere and everywhere.